Hey guys, it's Jordan, and today I'm going to try and recreate this DIY peppermint candy bowl that I found on Pinterest. So for this I'm using a pan, some wax paper, but it probably would be better if you used parchment paper instead, some peppermint candies, and a rounded cup or a bowl, and just make sure that this is made out of glass so that the candies don't stick on them. Then I just turned my oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit and waited for that to heat. Now back to the pan, I'm taking my wax paper and laying that on top. Then I am just unwrapping each of these little peppermint candies and putting them on my wax paper, but starting by just putting one on and then kind of making a flower around it, or just putting them around that one and then putting more around that. So it creates this kind of hexagon, and you can make it as big or as small as you want it. The one that I found on Pinterest was a little bit smaller and only had 3 peppermints per side, but I decided to make mine just a little bigger and put 4 peppermints on each of the sides of the hexagon. And you just want to make sure that all the sides are touching of each of the candies, and once that is done and you're satisfied with the size of it, then just go ahead and stick it in the oven. I set my timer for about 7 minutes, but you're going to want to keep an eye on this and make sure that they don't start to bubble or get too melted. And I ended up keeping mine in for about 8 to 9 minutes, I think, and then that's when I took it out. But yeah, you're just going to want to take it out once they all look like they're kind of melted together, kind of like this. Then comes the hard part though, and this is a little bit more tricky than I thought it would be because the candy is very hot, so you have to use oven mitts when you mold it. But what I did was I took my glass and I just put that in the center of the candy, and then I just kind of molded it around that and flipped it upside down, but I made sure to use my oven mitts so that I don't burn myself. And I just continued this process and just kind of molding it all around the glass until I got it the way I liked it. But you're going to want to do this very quickly because the candy dries and hardens very, very fast. So you're going to want to mold it around and just let it sit there for a couple minutes until it's pretty much hardened. Then you can remove the glass from underneath it and try to take off the paper as well. But the problem I had with the paper is that it just kind of stuck on the candy and wouldn't really come off. So I just peeled off the best that I could, and you actually can't tell that the paper is still on there, but it won't come off, and I don't really have another choice. Overall, once it's completely dried and cooled off, this is what mine looks like, and I think it came out pretty well considering this is from Pinterest, and you never really know with Pinterest. The bowl is definitely hard and sturdy, and it's not flimsy like a lot of the other Pinterest bowls that you've seen. This one is actually a pretty decent and sturdy bowl, but the only problem I have with this is that it's not exactly even, and I guess that could just be my fault, and I probably could get better at that with practice, but it's a little hard to get it exactly even all the way around. And the other thing I have is that this is a peppermint bowl, so I'm wondering if ants will come if I leave it out for too long. I guess one way you could try to fix this problem is to spray it with a clear spray paint, and that could help solve this problem. But overall, I think this did turn out pretty cute, and it would be a pretty cute gift to give, or just some cute decor that you could put in your room and maybe put some candy in it or anything you want to. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by clicking that button in the upper right corner. You can also check out some of these videos as you see them on the screen right here, and you can click on one of those. Also, don't forget to comment any video requests you have down below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.